These questions are the learning objectives guiding the chapter and will be explored in more detail in the following slides. How do firms plan advertising campaigns? Why do firms advertise and engage in public relations? What appeals do advertisers use? How do firms determine which media to use? What legal and ethical issues are of concern to advertisers? Why do firms integrate public relations into their IMC strategy? How do sales promotions supplement a firm's IMC strategy? Since opening its first store in 1969, Gap has changed its advertising strategy many times. One decision they continually reflect upon is the use of celebrities in their advertising and the effectiveness of celebrities with consumer. Designing a successful advertising program requires much planning. This slide shows some of the key steps in the planning process, each of which helps ensure that the intended message reaches the right audience and has the desired effect. An advertising plan is a subsection of the firm's overall marketing plan that explicitly outlines the objectives of the advertising campaign, how the campaign might accomplish those objectives, and how the firm can determine whether the campaign was successful. Generally, when advertising to consumers, the objective is a pull strategy, in which the goal is to get consumers to pull the product into the supply chain by demanding it. Push strategies are designed to increase demand by focusing on wholesalers, distributors, or salespeople. An advertising campaign has three broad objectives: inform, persuade, or remind the target audience. Informative advertising builds brand awareness with the ultimate goal of moving the consumer to purchase. Persuasive advertising is used to motivate consumers to take action. Reminder advertising is communication used to remind or prompt repurchases. This is a good ad to help the mother and parent feel more normal about their older child's bedwetting issue and persuade them to purchase this product for their child. All types of firms, including nonprofits, use advertising, as this ad for the Museum of Modern Art shows. Visually, this ad conveys a lot of information, yet also serves to persuade consumers to visit and remind patrons what the museum offers. Thus, this ad fulfills all three advertising objectives. Early in the product life cycle, firms use informative advertising to educate consumers about the product or service. Persuasive advertising generally occurs in the growth and early maturity stages of the product life cycle, when competition is most intense. In the later stage of the product life cycle, persuasive advertising may be used to reposition an established brand. Reminder advertising is used after the product has gained market acceptance and achieved top-of-the-mind awareness. Top-of-the-mind awareness means the product has achieved a prominent place in people's memories that triggers a response without them having to put any thought into it. Just the sight of a reminder ad may be enough to stimulate the desired response. Most advertising is product-focused. However, companies like ExxonMobil advertise their commitment to the environment, not their products, to inform, persuade, and remind consumers of positive thoughts about the company, which can prompt the purchase of products and services. The Got Milk campaign generates demand for the entire milk category. An advertisement for a single brand of milk tries to generate selective demand for that particular brand. The two are not mutually exclusive. When Coca-Cola introduced Diet Coke, it created both primary demand for diet soda and selective demand for Diet Coke. Public service announcements are designed to raise awareness of public welfare issues and receive free airtime, as required by the FCC. The Ad Council creates and distributes most PSAs. This slide shows a recent campaign for the United Negro College Fund and an anti-bullying initiative. The American Legacy Foundation came into being as part of the historic tobacco settlement against the tobacco industry. $300 million was to be set aside for a public education fund devoted to raising generations that would be smoke-free. The foundation developed Truth, which provides a hard-hitting, in-your-face media campaign. When determining an advertising budget, firms must consider the role that advertising plays in their attempt to meet their overall promotional objectives. Advertising expenditures vary over the course of the product lifecycle, and the nature of the market and the product influence the size of advertising budgets. In this step, marketers determine what they want to convey about the product or service. One common strategy differentiates a product by establishing its unique benefits. This distinction forms the basis for the unique selling proposition, which is often the common theme or slogan in an advertising campaign. This is a good example of bringing a very mature product category to life with a creative ad. Appeals depend on the target audience, chosen media, and type of product service. Each appeal persuades in different ways. Whereas informational appeals are more cognitive and persuade using rational thought, emotional appeals persuade by triggering an emotional response rather than offering rational arguments. The content of an advertisement is tied closely to the characteristics of the media that firms select to carry the message, and vice versa. Media planning refers to the process of evaluating and selecting the media mix that will deliver a clear, consistent, compelling message to the intended audience. The media mix is the combination of the media used and the frequency of advertising in each medium. The media buy is the actual purchase of airtime or print pages and is generally the largest expense in the advertising budget. Mass media channels include national newspapers, magazines, radio, and television, and are ideal for reaching large numbers of anonymous audience members. Niche media channels are more focused and generally used to reach narrower segments, often with unique demographic characteristics or interests. For each class of media, each alternative has specific characteristics that make it suitable for meeting specific objectives. This slide and the following slide list the advantages and disadvantages of each medium. OfficeMax uses a successful viral marketing campaign in which people can send customized elf messages to their friends during the holiday. Another important decision for the media planner is the advertising schedule, which specifies the timing and duration of advertising. There are 3 types of schedules. A continuous schedule runs steadily throughout the year and is suited to products and services that are consumed at a continually steady rate. Flighting refers to an advertising schedule implemented in spurts, with periods of heavy advertising followed by periods of no advertising. Pulsing combines the continuous and flighting schedules by maintaining a base level of advertising but increasing advertising intensity during certain periods. Although creativity plays a major role in the execution stage, advertisers must remain careful not to let their creativity overshadow the message. The execution style for the ad will dictate the type of medium used to deliver the message. Whatever the execution style, the advertisement must be able to attract the audience's attention, provide a reason for the audience to spend its time viewing the advertisement, and accomplish what it set out to do. This print ad for Southwest Airlines is using humor to deliver the selling message.